Hello everyone, Something.2, welcome to another mod overview, this time on Azure Doom's Chunk Loader, a mod that simply just adds in a single block that you can make with gold and an enchanting table. And yeah, so obviously you get 10 upon crafting, and it looks like so. Other than that, I'm not really too sure what else there is to say. It pretty much just does similar to the force load command, but in block form, and the mod is pretty much based off of, or I assume inspired by, chunk no go bye bye. So I assume that maybe it does similar to that, which, if I remember correctly, was either a 1 chunk radius, or it was a 3x3 radius, maybe 5x5. I'd have to check real quick. We'll just take a look. So let's see. Let's see. It does a such and such basic block, no tile entities, extremely lightweight. Keep chunks loaded in single place, such and such loads in a single chunk. So my guess is if it's anything similar to that, it just loads in a single chunk. And if the command also does exactly the same thing, then that's pretty much what you're getting, except that it's just now in block form, and you don't have to constantly use the command, I assume, to activate in each certain chunk that you want loaded. You just put the block in the world, and depending on which chunk you're wanting to load, then you can do that. Now the point, obviously, of a chunk loader, which makes it beneficial, is that pretty much if you are out doing things, like say for example your furnace is cooking something, I don't know, say like a bunch of potatoes, just because why not, and not getting attacked by a creeper, for example, then yeah, you can pretty much go mining and it'll still be able to do its things while you're gone. So for example, obviously players do pretty much load chunks because they're the things that, you know, make things in the world happen, but any time in that you're outside of a certain view distance or so, then it's not really going to keep these chunks loaded. It's just going to still have the blocks there, but nothing's really going to happen, so the furnace isn't really going to do anything, even though I think in later versions maybe that's not the case, but I don't know. At least from my experience of using, not using chunk loaders and going and doing things and going, oh okay, I've now taken damage, or I've been teleporting back, and it's now perfectly fine. Yeah, the purpose of chunk loaders is to pretty much make it seem like you've got another player standing in the area to let things still load, or to pretty much just keep certain chunks active while you're off mining or building another structure or doing other things, or maybe in another dimension, for example. You can still have your furnace still cooking potatoes, or whatever else you want from certain machines and tech mods, which it's typically useful for, or certain other mods that might be beneficial that I can't really think of a situation for off the top of my head, to maybe like a redstone contraption or something like that, maybe actively going, I'm sending blocks this way off from a quarry, or having a quarry run, for example, or sending blocks that you've mined up away into each certain system, for example, among a bunch of chests, processing through hoppers and doing this and the other. I don't know. Obviously, it's as long as it keeps the area loaded, you'll be fine. And obviously, it is a quite accessible cost in a way. Obviously not too cheap, but still quite achievable. But yeah, so just place one in each certain chunk every so often, which is obviously 16 blocks, and you'll be good to go. Other than that, of course, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.